Hello, good morning, evening, afternoon, or night, wherever you are. I hope you are having an amazing, lovely day. First of all, let me check the sound settings because I do not want to go through whatever it is that we've been going through these days. So if the sound is weird again, do let me know. But I think overall we should be fine. Interesting music. Oh yeah, this is actually the music of Charlotte. It is quite beautiful here, and you haven't been here yet, and you won't officially be here for a long while. But this is a beautiful, beautiful city with absolutely gorgeous soundtrack. Music is loudish. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, I can definitely fix that. Okay, I think we should be better off. Actually, the music sometimes can be a little bit loud, but when the dialogue starts, the dialogue is more often than not just really quiet. So I always, I don't know, try to balance that, but more often than not, I fail at it. How are you? What's up? I'm excited for tonight. Honestly, I'm starting to feel a little like sick, and I don't think it's because I've been, working too much or anything of the sort, but my toddler, he was sick and he actually got over his cold. But even though, like, I've been having pretty good, like, immunity lately and I haven't been having issues, but he's been, like, coughing in my face and in my mouth so much that I'm just kind of like waiting for it. You know, like when your kids are just like when you know that it's gonna happen based on just how many times they like open your eyelids during the night and just like sneeze in them. Am I the only one who has that happening? Like that absolutely, absolutely happens to patients here, right? No, it's terrible because then they get better and they stop they stop you know, stop coughing, stop doing these things, and they're full of energy, but you're the one dying in the slow days. Oh, I see, I see. Denver, hello, can I call you Denver? It's easier for me. How are you? What's up? I hope you are having an amazing day. And yeah, tonight I'm actually having tea instead of coffee. I would have normally had coffee, but here's an interesting story. And if Luneth is here, I'm sure he's not going to want me to tell this story, but what happened is today he actually dropped by before he went to work, and I was working, and he graciously offered to make me coffee. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And we've been recently just having a lot of coffees around here, which made my coffee jar just, just disappear very quickly. So what happened was I think he said at some point that he was gonna like use the coffee, and I didn't hear it, right? Because it was like the last bits of coffee and I was working, I didn't like register it. I just know there was something about coffee, something about me needing to like buy more or whatever, and I was like, okay, fine. I'll take care of it. And I had the entire afternoon to get more coffee, which I did not do because I was operating under the assumption that I'm going to have coffee tonight. So tonight I went to bed to put my kid to bed, and I almost fell asleep myself because we went at like 7:30 and he fell asleep at 9. So we were like battling for like an hour and a half. And I'm getting up and I'm like, thank goodness I have coffee. I'm just gonna stream today and I'm gonna have an awesome time at least. There's coffee, and I grabbed the jar and the jar is like empty. That moment that my blood started boiling, I started like texting him angrily saying that he should have told me that like he didn't tell me about the coffee, that whatever. Like I remembered vaguely something about some coffee that that he mentioned, but I never assumed that there is just none. It's 9 p.m. and once my kid goes to bed, I don't go anywhere, obviously, because we're alone, so I can't like walk out of the house and get stuff. And like my dreams just crumbled. I was so tired, and it was just, I don't know, it was just disgusting. It was just terrible, 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 and terrifying. in one word. But yeah, I texted him and he's like, you know what? I did tell you that I was gonna use up all of it. And the moment he texted that, do you know like when your memory returns to you, like when you hear like a fragment of like someone's sentence, and then you summon that thought back into your head, and you heard it, you know that um like that it's been said, but like my brain was just refusing to believe that I was in the wrong. But as it turns out, I was in the wrong because I immediately remembered that he said like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna use up all of it, and I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And I know that I'm wrong, but it still doesn't stop me from being mad. My folks back in the day would leave the house all the time. I see. Yeah, I mean mine too. Like I remember those days when my mom would put me to bed, and I was actually we were living with my grandparents, and she actually like we had this thing where I wasn't allowed to say that like she was sneaking out of the window. Like my mom loved partying and like clubbing and whatnot, and I was like, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 or whatever at the time, and I vividly remember her just like sneaking out of the window because we lived at a house and I slept next to like the window that like is on the street side, right? We were in kind of like a countryside. It wasn't really countryside, but it was like it was not a building. So she would like be like we had like mosquito nets, and she cut them so that she could walk out. We actually had this mosquito net that wasn't working because of that, but she didn't tell our, my grandparents. My grandparents were in the room next to mine, and I wasn't allowed to like come out of the room because then they would realize that she's not there. So she wouldn't tell them that she's going, and I had to keep the secret. Now I knew she was going, but like I wasn't allowed to tell my grandparents that she's not there. And it was actually really bad. I hated that because every time like I needed to like go to bathroom or something, I just couldn't. Like I just had to like sit there, sit through it and like try to fall asleep or whatever. Like even like with a stomach ache or whatever. It was so annoying. And yeah, she wasn't very she had me very young. Like she was like I want to say 19 or 20 or whatever when she had me, and she was not ready, you know? And at the time, I felt like she didn't like I guess live her life enough. And then when she had me, I felt like she really wanted to um I don't know, I guess experience more of like life without a child, but she did have one. I was very reasonable. I think like I was like when I was a kid, I was like a little grown up. It's like I didn't I don't know, like I wasn't like having tantrums, not to my knowledge anyways, and I remember mostly being reasonable and being able to understand because she was able to have this conversation with me at the age of like 4 or 5 and say, "Hey, I'm going out. Please don't tell anyone." And I would never tell on her. If I told my son anything of the sort and said, "Hey, don't tell this to anyone," like he would like find a first person like out on the street or anyone really to just betray me. Like we're not the same, definitely. But yeah, I mean, we've we've had different lives, different childhoods, and I just want secret for 2.7 seconds. Yeah, exactly. That's what my kid is like. It's a little sad and a little toxic, I guess. Is that like me as a parent? Like all I want is to just like not be kind of like the way my parents were. Well, I don't know much about how my dad was because I never really like had interactions with him when I was young. Like the first time that we ever lived together was when I was 17, and that was horrifying. I actually left his house like 2 days before I turned 18. That was not working out, not at all, and it was just overall weird. But but yeah, with my mom, it was super weird, for sure. Anyways, yesterday we were here, and I'm gonna try to like I don't know if I'm gonna finish the story. I assure you I am working behind the scenes on like guides and videos for this patch and whatnot. But when it comes to the story, I just wanted to take it easy and just enjoy it very very slowly, with you, and hopefully you're having fun that way as well because you're actually getting to finish the patch before me. So yeah. Like fear to flame. It is time to proceed to the next stage of your plans. So last time, if you remember, we finished the dungeon, and this is the first quest after the dungeon. Yeah, I can't wait to see. With the transportation tanks, oh not me, oh sorry, thus arranged, our first task is complete. We may now turn our attention to the second. To wit, obtaining the blessing of the Ilsabard contingent to use the Tower of Babel to channel energy onto the moon. Our destination is Camp Broken Glass, where we may present our petition to Commander Lucia. Okay. Can't believe we're actually going back there. This is not my favorite zone. I'm not a huge fan of snow. Thanks. You're welcome, right? Oh, this is the new mount that I was grinding the other day. And do you know why this mount is cool? Because it has like a mount action. Some mounts have like a special button that you can press and they do something. And this is what this one does. It's so cool. It has like a little bit of a cooldown. It doesn't do anything. It's not like an attack or anything. It's just like a flavor. And these like special mounts, they have them. So yeah, I like that one. I have a few of them that do these things. Let me find this one. This one. This is a polar bear that I briefly mentioned the other day. This one does like a snowflake. This one is nice. Yeah, the mech doesn't have one, unfortunately. That's actually an old mount, but it's available. That's an old mount, but it was available through like a seasonal event. Otherwise, it's kind of hard to get. This one is like a bear throwing presents at people, but you can only do that when you're grounded. That one's cool, and I don't know if I have any more. What else? What else has an action? Well, it does say it. Oh, this one. Oh, this one has a cool one. I'm just showing this to you because I know maybe you haven't seen some of those. So this one sneezes. Most of them are fairly easy to get, especially these ones. Let me see which one. This one. Oh, I love this one. This is one of my favorite ones. I have a glam plate that goes with this one. This one like blows fire. I think it's so adorable. I love it. Actually, I don't have that many mounts. I wish I had a lot more. Oh, Twin Tanya has a cool one also. This one is from Refer a Friend, I believe. This one like turns around. It's dope. I love mounts. Like collecting mounts is so much fun. Lately though, I haven't been doing it, and I feel bad about it like every day. But it's fine. Oh, this one is a nice one. This is from the Beast Tribes from Shadowbringers. And there's actually like a story behind this one. So once you do the Beast Tribes, you'll know why it does that thing. I think that's really cute that they put that into the mount, but you'll see. This one is nice. This one is also Beast Tribes. These are easy to get. Like, these are not exclusive in any way. This is also like story related, and you learn like about the story when you do the quests to get it. So I don't want to spoil that. I'm just kind of like showing it off so that maybe you get motivated to play. Have that one, and which one has something? Oh, this one. This was a winter mount, I think. It's a giant hand carrying a dude around This morning by the head. Oh yeah, that one is actually very easy to get. That's like one of the first mounts that you'll get if you're interested in that one. It's fairly easy. I think you might be able to get it already. There's this one, and I don't know if I have any more. Like, every time I think I don't have any more action ones, some of them appear. This one you saw. I don't think any of these have anything. No. No, that's it. Oh, no, actually it isn't. I do have more. What you saw is... Let me show you what you saw. You saw... Where is it? You saw this. Right? Were we talking about the size of the moose recently? Yes, but the mount, the moose, is that one is that one is fairly small in comparison. Yeah, I love this mount. This is like an old one, but I think it's one of the most fun looking, to be honest. I like it. I used to hate this girl. V, allow me to personally thank you for your assistance during the recent Void Sent incursion. Your action has saved many. What brings you here today? Pray forgive us for not sending the word in advance, Commander, but we seek your cooperation in a matter of great import. Import? Or import as in, like, not a finished word? Import. Is import a word? Indeed, we appreciate you consulting with us instead of taking unilateral action. It is no simple matter to activate the Tower of Babel, and I speak not only of the technological challenges. Personally, I think we must consider the emotional impact of such an action above all else. Wait, what's she referring to? Though we have yet to re-establish a governing body, we provisionally refer to those who remain here as the Garlean community. As you would expect, they are predominantly native Garleans, most of whom are uncomfortable with the ethereal manipulation. Yeah, I bet, after everything. But yeah, that cat animation, that would be really cool, wouldn't it? To compound matters, the trauma inflicted by Anima is still fresh. If the tower were to suddenly light up again, it is like to cause distress and reopen old wounds. Better that than facing a mass invasion by Golbas and his Voidset hordes, surely. Azero is the one who will always, like, deny that, emotional impact is in any way, shape, or form impactful. I love that. Of course, we acknowledge the gravity of the situation, as well as the promised bloodshed should we fail to act. Yet, even were we to convey your mourning to the public, many simply do not understand the workings of magic or the rift. They will struggle to comprehend why they must be forced to relive personal horrors for the sake of something they cannot imagine. What's there to imagine? Haven't these people seen Void set with their own eyes? Have they? Let us suppose you encounter someone who's freezing in this cold. A natural thing to do might be to make them a fire, yes? But what if that person's sole existence with fire was being badly burned by it and they harbored an acute fear? Despite the benefits and the necessity of the warmth you offer, they may flee on instinct, or worse, misinterpret your actions for aggression and lash out. Garlemald continues to be political, for sure. So, like the fire that torments this individual, the Tower of Babel torments the people of Garlemald. Yet we cannot afford to falter here. We must find a way to help them overcome their fear. Is this what the patch is about? Like, wow, this game sends folk to help in big fights. Um, well, WoW kind of, does it as well, or at least used to do it. But in here, it's kind of like, I always feel like we're not, like, inherently, like, a champion of the world or whatever. We're just, like, your, like, inherent name is an adventurer, which I think is pretty cool because they don't, like, uh, boast your existence at first. You know, you're just a person who wants to, you know, go on adventures and explore and help out a little bit. So it's very like humbling. You know, I like that. I agree. To that end, the contingent will assist however we can. We should speak with Alphino and now and say, oh my god, finally! With the rapport they gave us, they have established with the Guardian people, I dare say they can provide us with valuable insights. We haven't seen them this entire patch. In the meantime, Orange, might I ask that you remain here to oversee the technical aspects of the tower's activation? It's like we're already planning on activating it, but we haven't really talked to those people yet. I don't know if we're asking for permission or forgiveness. I guess we'll see. If we have to do it anyway, because if we don't, then there's just not going to be a world to come back to. Oh yeah, by the way, if you turn on the mount music, which you can do in your settings, you will discover that some of the mounts have soundtracks, which I personally have turned off, as sometimes they're startling. And I don't know, like, but I think like when you're starting off with a game, it's kind of cool to have them turned on just so you can hear what every one of them sounds like. Finally. Oh, I'm glad to see you, V. Rachel has explained our present dilemma. Wait, that's it? I expected a warmer welcome, but that's okay. There's no unfounded concern that the Guardians might take poorly to the reactivation of the Tower of Babel. That's putting it mildly. Many would be up in arms over it. Trust in the Ilsebard contingent is fragile enough. We need to tread lightly, or we risk jeopardizing everything we've achieved. She's got no patience for this. But yeah, feel free to also take some because all of these like that are in the vault, they are mostly something that I'm pretty sure everyone has, but I have a habit of just putting in the sheets that I already have. Rather than just putting them on the market board, so just for people to take if they're just starting out and want some and don't have any. So yeah, feel free to explore. Trust again. Oh, I can't wait for the new Omega quests. Oh, those are gonna be so fun. Well, it seems to me like there's naught for it but to speak with the people. Rather than harping on about the necessity of the plan, we need to lend an ear to their concerns. Then perhaps we can begin working towards a compromise. How about we just let them see what's gonna happen? Let Gobas raid us. And then they'll be like, oh, we should have. In that case, I'll take you to meet the community leaders. They are at a station called Sanctus, near the Cenaculum Imperialis. I would be honored to speak with them, though it would be prudent to learn where people elsewhere stand as well. But what if I leave to the others, save Zero? Might you accompany me? I'm sure those in Tapper's Den will have their own opinions. I don't know if I may drag you along. Dude, they've been dragging each other along for ages. I want to hang out with them. Tertium, we leave to you. You are no stranger to the people here, so it should take little prodding to convince them to speak freely. I don't remember anyone here. I'm gonna be honest. Then it's settled. Once you've learned what you can, let's all meet in Forum Solius, where we'll have what I hope is a productive discussion. Why do you hate them? Well, I guess it depends on. Okay, it depends on like what part of the story you're in. I did not used to like Alphino, to be fair. Alphino was a little different, I guess. Like he's gone through a decent amount of change as a character as well. They both did. They both did. Like when you meet them, they're kids, and they have their own ideas and visions and whatnot. But I also grew to like them. I was very annoyed by. Yeah, he was a snob. I totally agree. I totally agree. I don't want to spoil the story or anything of the sort, but he does go through a decent amount of change. So that's something to look forward to, maybe if you hate him right now. Activate the Tower of Babel. Are you out of your mind? That abomination transformed my friends and family into monsters. I can't even bear to look at it whenever I step outside. If you want to do something for us, tear the bloody thing down. Well, this is gonna go swimmingly. They are going to hate this. I like that you can mount like inside of rooms as well, and no one complains about it. You can't do that in WoW. No, honestly, take the time to hate him for who he is right now. It's there's a weird amount of pleasure that you can take in that. The Tower of Babel. But what's it got to do with Void Scent? I can't say I understand. Still, your people have done much and more for us Guardians. If you say it's necessary, then that's good enough for me. This is gonna be like a vote, but I definitely wouldn't dare spoil anything. You'll see. You'll see. It's Final Fantasy does have the tendency to like toy with with emotions, especially when it comes to like connecting to certain characters or hating some characters and then them just going through different things to for you to just kind of feel for them as well. Victor, hello and welcome back. How are you doing? Good afternoon or evening, or it's afternoon for you, isn't it? Like late afternoon or no? Stop it. The tower is evil. It'll turn us all evil. I don't want to hear it. Leave me alone. Jeez. So, we're basically looking for like a few voices of reason for us to do it, and everybody else is just gonna continue to be mad at us. Great. 5-5. That tower isn't right, I tell you. All those magics. Years ago, when I lived in the provinces, the locals razed our village to the ground with the stuff, made things appear and disappear and fly and burn. I can still see it when I close my eyes. You've done us a good turn, dear, but let's not talk about that tower any longer. It's unnatural. Aw. Yeah, late afternoon, that's what I thought. But I am very bad with time zones, to be honest. Honestly, I thought that I wasn't gonna appear today. I almost fell asleep because my son took like an hour and a half to fall asleep, and I was just laying in bed once he fell asleep, and I was like, am I gonna do this today? I'm so excited for the next patch already. Oh, did you go through the story already? I'm just taking it very slowly and just doing other things like that are not like story related, like off stream, so that I can work on videos at the same time. I'm almost done with one of the videos that I'll be posting probably not tonight, but tomorrow for sure. So yeah, there's a lot to do. Just finished MSQ. Ooh, I'm excited. Whatever its present state, the Imperial Palace was once the pride of Garlemald. At least I'm not spoiling you the story now, huh? I mean, no disrespect to you and yours, but shouldn't the Garlean people be its caretakers instead of foreigners? Though if we dared speak thus to some of the contingent, they might make assumptions, cut our rations, or worse. No, no, forget I said anything, please. Aw. Where is it? Where's the Oh, I have to actually go outside. Great. How do I walk out of here? See, I forgot how to do that. So I have to go through Tataru, but Tataru started being so good. I had very low expectations of her questline when it started, and I wasn't very impressed. But the last one was so fun. Can't wait to see more. Julius is on his way with the orders, not orders, others. I hope you found the people more receptive than we did. From Castlevania to Devil May Cry now it's just Bayonetta. I hope we're gonna get to do that on, like, I don't know, Friday or so. I really, really want to. May I present to you Lord Nias and Matthias, magistrates of our political council. They have been spearheading the efforts to establish a new system of government here. When we raised the subject of the Tower of Babel, they insisted that we speak no further until joined by representatives of the Elsebard contingent. I see Alphino and Alice have yet to arrive, though, so perhaps we should wait. I love this soundtrack. So fun. It doesn't matter if only some of you are present. I simply wish to make one thing perfectly clear. The tower is the manifestation of Guardian ingenuity and authority. It was once the abode of the imperial family and will forever bear tremendous cultural significance. It is insulting enough that we have had to suffer foreigners occupying it under the guise of rendering aid, and now you propose reactivating it. Now we have had enough. The Garlemald of old may have fallen, but she fell in civil war to her own people, not to Eorzea or any other land. How are we going to do this? Like, there's no way we're going to talk them into this. We came here to assert our unequivocal claim to our territory. Garlemald and all that lies within her bounds is beholden to no one. It's like no one's trying to. Yeah, I think Savage is gonna be amazing. Whatever they do, I think the last chapter is already so nice. Yeah, I don't think we're getting around this. I don't know. Like, I'm not seeing it. Maybe we just need to, wait for this place to basically blow to bits for them to see it. I would have let it happen. Julius is eager to get out of the cold. Since their excellencies are resolved to negotiate with the contingent, I will escort them to Tertium. I'll also instruct Alphino and Alice to meet us there. Lord Matthias, Lord Nias, by your leave, my comrades and I would speak with the residents of Senatus. Though the Elsebard contingent holds the Tower of Babel, it is I who wishes for it to be reactivated, and thus I think it meet that I be present for this discussion. Like, I love how Varshan is just, just out here playing, like, human games. Like, he's a freaking dragon who can just who can just eat them for breakfast. And yet, he's just here trying to be civil. It's like the amount of self-control that he has is amazing. Yet my understanding of your people's hardships, of their hopes and desires, of their dreams for the future, is sorely lacking. In my ignorance, I would struggle to contribute. Lest you worry, I will not plead our case to the community in your absence. I wish only to identify common ground, one with which we might build a relationship that sees us overcome our differences. So we're trying to still get our own way. Of course we are. Very well. But know that the guards will not hesitate to escort you from the premises, should they judge your actions to be inappropriate. This is gonna be like a roleplay thing. If it's settled, then you should all head to Senatus. I'll join you there after I see their excellencies safely to Tertium. Okay. Can I fly there? Is there a faster way? No, I don't think so. Like, all of this area is just completely ruined. I remembered when they were showing off Endwalker for the first time, like when we were in Garlemald, and like I don't know, when we got to see the zone just completely ruined, like for the first time. That was so incredible. Like, we had no idea why everything looked like shit. I don't go there. It's like I saw a group of people with basically watching a movie. It's like that probably happens in the future. It's so fun to see people just out there in the world questing in certain areas, and you know you're gonna go there when it's like your time. Here it is, Senatus, a temporary refuge for political dignitaries, hence the tight security. I am given to understand that outsiders are not normally permitted so much as a glimpse inside. We should consider ourselves fortunate to be given this opportunity. I hope it'll be worth the trouble. As do I, Zero. As do I. Enter? I guess we go. I wonder if there's gonna be a duty. Wait, this is the same place that... Dude, this looks exactly like that train station that we were on. This is by no means impressive. Okay, well, I guess it can't be impressive. I guess it's the I don't know, place itself that isn't as significant as the movement, but whatever. To begin, I propose we split up and ask the residents for their views on the Ilsebard contingent and the current state of affairs. We would also do well to learn more about this enclave itself. Should you observe anything of note, pray keep it in mind. It is through open hearts and open minds that I believe we may yet convince their leaders to work with us for the greater good. Oh, so maybe it is like trying to talk to them. I was in a different subway, so it looked pretty much the same as this one, but I think it's just like a different location that for some reason bears more significance to them. I guess this is where they gather, and not at the other place. The stockpile of assorted supplies bears marking indicating they were provided by the Elsebard contingent. The Enclave is clearly reliant upon the Alliance for aid. So we're gonna blackmail them, I see. Hmm. You want to know what I think? I'm a soldier. I try not to think about politics at all. That's sad. I'll say this much. Our leaders labor to preserve our culture, our way of life. What remains of it at any rate. I trust them to do what's best for Garlemald. Okay. So I'm just out there. I look like I'm stealing and no one cares. I recognize the large casks as the very same you and your comrades used to transport ceruleum from Lapis Manalis. Why they are in Senatus is unclear. Yeah, why are they here indeed? So Zero is just here hanging out. That's amazing. Fastest way to open hearts and minds with a bonzo. Sheesh. Savage. But undisputable nonetheless. How do I feel about the contingent? Conflicted to say the least. I've been tasked with this distribution of supplies, and I know as well as any that we couldn't survive without outside aid. Be that as it may, even though the Empire has collapsed, we have our pride. People don't want to be beholden to others forever. And there's no denying that it shafts, I don't know, to see our benefactors occupying the Imperial Palace. Not everyone's fully happy with this. I don't like how Garlemald gets a little too political for my taste, but the quests are mostly good. Especially the side ones. I'm so tiny in comparison to him, and he's an aura as well. I wonder if he's larger because he's a dragon. Finished touring the Enclave, have you? What were you able to learn? Nothing. Much the same as me then. They accept the contingent's help out of necessity and harbor a measure of resentment. Ships annoy. Yeah, I was like, does this sentence make more sense if it's like annoy or if it's like praise and be happy about it? I struggled to make that decision. I was like, I'm gonna let this go. Thanks for not letting it go. They have only themselves to blame. If they don't like the bargain, they should reject it. How many times must I tell you? It is absolutely out of the question. Now, it makes sense that they're annoyed by it because they have to accept the help, but they'd rather not because of the pride and everything. It makes sense when you go through the story, but I'm glad you I'm glad this is not a spoiler for you because you're gonna forget all about this. What is going on? We were wondering the very same. We came running when we heard shouting. Is off the matter? No, I was just trying to explain. Mayhap you can clear this up. The contingent has made a reasonable request, but this man insists that it's impossible. It concerns the magic weapons, which run rampant throughout Regio Urbanissima. Every time we deliver supplies here, we have to dispatch extra men to defend against potential attacks. To address the issue once and for all, we propose the elimination of machina that loiter near the supply route. But you heard it. They refuse to even consider it. Yeah, they don't trust them still. I mean, how could they? The magistrates have already spoken on this matter. Rampart or no, those war machina are Garlean assets. Furthermore, who's to say they are as dangerous as you attest? It's been suggested that this could be a pretense to scavenge magitek material for your own ends. I know not if that is the case, but the fact remains we cannot allow you to destroy them. More speculation by the magistrates, I presume. Ridiculous, but they have spoken. And unless we want to inflame the tensions further, there is naught we can do. Like at some point, I totally expect Zero to save the day. Like right about now. How complicated relations become when not grounded in a clear and equitable arrangement. An equitable arrangement, of course. So, like, trade? She does. I love it when she does that. She looks so dope. Well, I do understand the difficulty of your position. As a soldier, you must do your duty and obey your superiors. I have an idea, but I must first speak with the Commander Lucia. May I take charge of this matter? By all means. I wonder who here knows that he's a dragon. It's like, how afraid are you to say no to him? I think everybody knows. I don't think it's a secret. Let us return to Camp Broken Glass, where we might discuss a solution I believe will satisfy all parties. His real form is actually quite impressive. Like one of the most beautiful dragons in the game, I think. Admittedly though, we still haven't seen his sister. Hopefully we will. Broken glass. Oh, we can just teleport here. Oh, do you know that fatigue that like doesn't make your body feel tired, but like your eyes like burn, and it's like your brain basically telling you that you need to shut down immediately? That's me today. Yeah, he doesn't care. He's just a dragon, literally. And what a dragon he is. I hate it when I get on a mount from like the story that's potentially a spoiler. That's so annoying, especially when I'm on stream. But I do like the random mount feature. Last time my character was running into walls as I was dozing off. Oh, that happens to me so much. This afternoon, I was teaching my son like lesson number 2 in 14 because he came home from the daycare and he was like, "Will you let me play Final Fantasy 14? Like he learned the entire name." And I was like, "How can I not allow him to play now that he knows like the full name of the game?" It was so adorable when he said that. So we sat, and I was actually teaching him on the controller. So I was showing him how to, like, I figured it would be easier for him, and eventually it was, because, like, he immediately, like, understood, like, how to walk. But what he didn't, like, quite get is, like, how to, like, jump and walk at the same time. So today we were practicing to, like, push the like that left thing like with his thumb, and to like press the triangle to be jumping while he's walking, because what he does is like the stick. So he like gets to the fence, but then he stops walking and he just like jumps into place, and he's like, why can't I go over? And I'm like, well, you gotta walk, buddy. So I'm like teaching him to like walk into something and to like time the jump so that he like jumps over it. And he actually was able to understand that after a little bit, which I thought was really cool. So I found something, new for us to just kind of have fun with. And I don't know. I mean, I have to admit, it is a little obnoxious when they have like 2,000 questions, and like you think that you can do something on the side, but really you can't. But at the same time, I really do cherish it, because I know that, in no time, like, he'll be better at it than me. So I do like enjoy it, and I can't consciously remind myself that even though like some of these things are, you know like, I don't know, sometimes they feel a little obnoxious, like he's gonna be, in like a couple of years, he's gonna be like, just leave me alone, you noob. So I'm just gonna enjoy it. Well, he doesn't know anything, and I'm not the noob. I have a couple of years to get good, so we'll see. Welcome back, all of you. I pray there have been positive developments in your efforts to appeal to the Garlean community. Mayhap not yet, but there is a method by which I believe all stand to gain. And trades are always nice. As Sidetrap, I intend to propose a trade, there we go, agreement between Radzahan and the people of Garlemald. But what do they have that we need? Well, I guess except for us using the tower. Please continue. The people of this nation have lived through its collapse and more, yet they have chosen to remain, for it is their home. They have been able to survive thus far thanks to the Ilsebard contingent, or rather, in less flattering terms, they are entirely at your mercy. Despite your noble intentions, this one-sided relationship has fueled feelings of frustration and resentment. 'Tis no surprise, then, that some Garleans are loath to engage with foreigners, for fear of indebting themselves further, or surrendering more of their already limited autonomy. Well, yeah, I guess they're kind of occupied, which sucks, because technically that's not our intentions, but that's pretty much the way it comes out. As that is why I wish to present them with an equitable agreement, one that would restore them a sense of agency after having been forced to rely upon charity. Like what? How would we do this? Easier said than done. What exactly did you have in mind? Long have Garlemald and Radzahan abided by a treaty of non-interference. Freely have we traded with one another, and I wish but to continue in this tradition. We would provide your people with such supplies as you require, in return for which you would grant us leave to use the Tower of Babel, as well as share your magic resources and expertise. How is that better than what they already have? They already have resources. This way, they're just getting a resource from like another party, and they also have to give something. Like, how is this going to return them, their pride or whatever it is that we want to, give back to them? I don't get it. It's the same thing. We're just also asking for something. As we become more reliant upon your technologies, we will of course require more cerulean to fuel them. This you possess in abundance, and for it you will be duly compensated. Radzahan's culture will be enriched by your magic wonders, and our ever increasing demand for your wares will see Garlemald grow wealthy and prosperous. So we're basically creating a quest for them. We don't really need anything, but we're like, hey, you can potentially craft things, so do craft things so we have something to buy. It's like getting kids to like sell lemonade at a lemonade stand so that you can like give them money for something and make them feel accomplished. That's a bit silly. Only when both sides keep the interest of the other in mind can an equitable relationship be forged. It is a principle I once thought I understood, but I have come to appreciate all the more in recent days, thanks to the sage counsel of a friend from beyond the rift. Zero's advice. It's finally starting to get useful. Your Excellency, thank you for your careful consideration of Garland's future. Though I cannot speak for every Garlean, I myself see no reason to object to your proposal, except for the fact that we're still doing something you don't like, as in invading your territory and messing around with something that's on it that we need, regardless of what you think about it. I'm personally against it. Indeed, if Radzat Han were to take the initiative, other nations may follow suit and seek to normalize trade relations with us. If you see sense in my proposal, then I ask you to join me in the negotiations at Tertium. Your support may be instrumental in winning over Lord Nias and Matthias. I do love her hairstyle, though. Like, I'll give her that. Lucy is not all bad. She's not bad at all. I just have a personal agenda. By all means, go with them. I have matters here well in hand. I've learned that I may regard all that I may regarding the tower's operations, so I too shall hie me to Tertium. It is cool unless attacked from the left. Yeah, true. She is a damn good fighter. She's also my romantic rival. That's the biggest issue that I have with her. Attack her from left. Yeah, I should have done that the moment I met her. Maybe my life would have looked different. Well, my character's life, anyways. A crowd you may have brought, but numbers will not intimidate us. Oh, he thinks they're under attack. Oh, Jesus. The Tower of Babel is ours by rights, and nothing you do will convince us otherwise. It's like, how about a sandwich? Rest assured, it is not our intent to infringe upon the rights of the people of Garlemald. Let's instead discuss the future. As the satrap of Razat Han, I wish to establish a new trade agreement between our nations. Black mage now is all help. Oh, I see. You know what? I haven't even leveled my black mage. Like, that's one of those jobs that I haven't even touched yet. The aid we presently receive will not last forever, my lords. Sooner or later, we must stand on our own 2 feet. But to do so, we must secure a means to replenish our coffers, and proposed agreements present a rare opportunity. I do like his uniform. Tis true we do not want for Magitech and Ceruleum, and foreign currency will be needed to procure such things that we lack. It would depend on the precise terms, but I can see the merits. What? I cannot believe what I'm hearing. You served the Emperor, were a proud patriot, yet now you entertain selling national resources like a common merchant? It's like, dude, how do you think countries survive? Yeah, you definitely know more about Black Mage than me. Like you, I weep for what we have lost. But if we are to rebuild Garlemald, we must make use of what precious few assets remain to us. Nonsense. Utter nonsense. You are a traitor, Nias, and there will be a reckoning. Oh yes, when the people of Senatus learn of this, they will cry out for your blood. Oh, today was rough. Lord Matthias, wait, it isn't safe out there. Like, I really needed that coffee. I'm so mad. Still feeling the status. Like, I mean, people from Garland, they are very prideful. very, very, very prideful. Give me a second. Yeah, we still have ways to go. I'm glad. I think they made a decent chunk of a story. Yeah, they are a military country. They don't really have much going on in their culture except for that, but you know. I can't caffeinate. I don't have anything. My last coffee is no more. Bonds of trust. Concern is writ plan on Julius's face. Writ plain, not writ plan. It's far too dangerous for a civilian to be outside alone. We must go after Lord Matthias. Let us leave matters here in Maximus' care while the rest of us join in the search. If Lord Matthias is bound for Senatus, we may be able to catch up to him and read Regio Urbanissima. I pray he has not come to any harm. I hope not. I don't have coffee because Luneth was here and we had coffee together and I was working and he was making coffee and he just briefly mentioned that I'm out of coffee and I didn't interpret it as me being out of coffee. For some reason my mind um like I heard it but I thought I'm gonna be out of coffee at some point soon. So it didn't even occur to me for the entirety of my afternoon to go and buy more coffee or check how much I have because I didn't feel alarmed enough by what he said. And I wanted to make coffee before the stream and I started making coffee, but then I realized that the jar is fully empty. I got so mad at him, like I texted him and was very, very, very upset. But as it turns out, he did tell me that I'm out of coffee, but I didn't hear that. Like, I don't know how much more I can ask of him because normally he appears without me even asking for something, like with like food and such. It's like I don't want to be a jerk who asks for something on top of that. He does work at a restaurant though, so I don't really like feel too bad about it, but at the same time, you know, it wasn't his fault because I vividly now remember that he did say that I was out of coffee, but I'm alive. Apparently so. Oh, this is how we're gonna get him to feel indebted. Amazing. Yes, it's terrible. Not having coffee is gross.
Praise the sisters, you are safe.
But if I had coffee, like I would not be able to sleep until like 1 or 2 in the morning and I have to get up at 6:30 tomorrow because I have to take my kiddo to daycare and then I have to go to the city and just basically deal with some documents that I need to pick up. And my day is just gonna start very early. So maybe it's a good thing that I didn't have coffee because I definitely would have had one. But you know, I'm upset now. I'm gonna be quite grateful in a few hours when I actually can sleep. I'm actually gonna, no, I'm not gonna be able to go to the gym tomorrow morning because
Don't
of
think I'm indebted to
that
you. I never
documents
asked for your help.
endeavor, but what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna go on my lunch break. So what I sometimes do when I don't get to go before like starting with work in the morning is I like have like a quick lunch before my lunch break and then I wait for like half an hour or like 45 minutes or so and then I go for like a 30-minute run. And if I really want to like push myself, I just bump up the incline, which really like makes the minutes go very slowly. So that's what I do when I don't have the time. But I make sure that during the week I get like 4 of like the weights workouts with just everything, both running and lifting and everything. And then I go twice more for either a run or a group workout or 2 runs or 2 group workouts, depending on what I get to do. So I'm definitely gonna go still, but it's gonna have to be at lunch break. I don't like fall asleep. Don't think I'm indebted to you. I never asked for your help. Well, now you are.
You love Garlemald dearly, Lord
Oh,
Messius.
it's voiced.
That much is
Perfect.
plain. But you're not alone in that. We all mourn what has become of our homeland. Bristle at having to rely upon outsiders simply to survive the cold. Even now, I struggle with fear and uncertainty. Day after day, I ask myself, what is right? Where do we go from here?
And I'm actually looking forward to going for, just a run because I haven't been on like a real long run, like on a treadmill for about a couple of weeks, and I just want to see how much I can push myself with like the speed and the incline. So tomorrow, if I make my entire workout just a run, I'm really gonna push myself because today, I was doing a run, which was like a mini run because sometimes I do like a warm up on either a bike or on the treadmill or on the like a stepper. So I was running, and on the treadmill I think the speed was like 6, which is not too bad at all, but the incline was about 6%. So I remember doing that last week because it was like one of my workouts for this month, like 1 out of 4 days, different ones that I have, and I was struggling. But today I ran it and I was like, is this it? Like, should I be bumping this up? Like, I didn't really want to because I do have like a personal like trainer who makes the plan for me. So I'm guessing that she has this in mind, and that soon enough I'm gonna get another one with like a more challenging run. But today I was like, is this really it? So I should probably go and push myself a little bit. I really want to.
I've yet to find the answers. But I won't stop looking nonetheless. And I won't avert my gaze from our grim reality.
Is there hope for us?
Having to remake my routines is tiresome. What is it that you're working on? Like exercise or just, stuff with like studying or something like that? Or. Oh, that was sad, sis.
Aye. So long as we live. Garlemald lies in ruins, but the bonds between us will never be broken. We are the chain that connects generations past and future. You and I, it's links. Help us, Lord Metius, for all we have been and for what we may yet become. Please.
Yeah, just because they now have something to gain. Unbelievable. Well, not actually unbelievable, very human.
To be lectured by the younger. It ill becomes a man of my station.
True.
I will rejoin the talks at Tertium. Might I trouble you to escort me?
No. Oh, not me. I was like, that's far away. I am not doing an escort quest across the entire
for
land.
my discourtesy. I owe you my life, and I thank you.
I can't believe he's that incapable of defending himself. Like, what?
Euless, wait. I'd like a word. With you as well. I'm to stay close, after all.
Worry not, we shall see the magistrates safely back to Tertium.
What is it?
My hat would like a word with you, right?
You bound that man with trust, didn't you? That's why he did not require coercion to
I
return.
love how she just freely uses the word coercion. Like it's acceptable.
Shall we walk, perhaps? Chilly, standing around here.
She weirds people out. For sure.
So that's how Zero came to join you. Still, I'm not sure I'm qualified to explain something like trust. I wouldn't describe myself as
I'm actually
social
really appreciative
person.
of the fact that they're
For
not
all
spoiling who
this,
Zero is
Any free time I had, I spent
for
looking
people
after
who
my
haven't
brother
reached
and
that
sister.
part yet.
As for the magistrate, I only told him what's been on my mind of late. But I wouldn't have done so, I think, if it weren't for the twins' influence.
Yeah, you're right. I think he's actually feeling wildly uncomfortable by this.
Trust is infectious, in a manner of speaking. When someone believes in you, it makes you want to believe in them, in others, in yourself.
I don't think Zero's been infected yet.
Perhaps it's because the magistrate felt that earnestness that he gave us a chance. As I did, after I was caught trying to steal provisions from the enemy. Trust comes easy in such company.
Is there a shot for that? I don't know. If there is, I probably need one as well. Watching Grinding Gear speak about the graphics development of the game made me appreciate more just little details from MMO. Oh, I see. Oh my goodness! Today is the PlayStation um, PlayStation showcase. I'm gonna have to watch that. Like I don't know how and when, if I should like record watching it or something. I don't know if I'll find time, but I really want to watch that. There's probably gonna be a ton of announcements about 16 and 7.
Little wonder my world is devoid of it.
I do love her
No one
voice
trusts
actor,
in
though.
you, and so you trust in no one. And round the wheel turns.
It's like sometimes these life lessons just strike you in this game.
During the Contra Memoria, we had already come to judge one another based on strength and usefulness. You either used or were used. Those who rejected this rule didn't survive. My mother wanted to save the world, to fulfill the hopes of Memoria's good and true. After she died, I carried on her mission alone.
Alone? Didn't you have anyone to help you?
Almost. 2 men tried just the once.
Did they die? Like immediately?
A swordsman and a mage, whom I met when passing through a village. They had
I
saved
like
the
his
people there
hairstyle,
from
though.
corrupted Memorians. When they learned our enemies were the same, they seemed heartened. They claimed to be soldiers of a kingdom called Baron, and were traveling the realm in search for means to end the Contra Memoria. They invited me to join them. I refused. How could I not, having learned the lessons of my world?
Wait, when was this?
Those who would work with others always have their own motives. I would not place myself at their mercy. I would not be forced to submit. I expected some manner of outburst. Some show of frustration at having failed to deceive me. But they simply
I'm a lot
watched me
like
walk
her in a
away.
lot of ways. That's why I love these quests when she talks. Miss Strow or Miss Struv Zero, hello and welcome. Sorry if I like completely butchered your name. How are you? What's up? Hope you're having a lovely, lovely day.
I didn't know what to make of it then, but now... Perhaps they shared a bond of trust. Perhaps they were the last ones left who dared. Perhaps they hoped I was like them, too. Perhaps it was just an offer, and nothing more.
They probably died because they didn't have her to defend them.
I continued fighting alone. But ultimately, I was undone. Overwhelmed by enemies that had banded together.
I'm about to do the ultimate weapon trial, so I don't think there's any chance of me being ahead of you. Oh, I see, I see. Well, have fun nonetheless. It is a good story, though. I do always mention spoilers as a potential thing that could happen if you happen to be watching the story streams, which I can't help myself but am doing because I really, really, really need to know what happens. And I'm working on a lot of videos like behind the scenes that have nothing to do with the story, but this is just kind of my time to just kind of, sit here and just, just have fun. Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to the showcase. And this is gonna be the first year that I feel like the PlayStation Showcase is gonna be relevant for me because I am getting it um, next month, or actually in like a couple of weeks or so. I'm terribly excited for it. So for the first time, I'm actually gonna be watching it and realizing that I will be playing these games. So I'm excited.
I was cold, in pain, wishing desperately that someone would save me. And as I lay there in solitude, I felt it happen. The breaking of our world. Darkness washed over me, and I was swept into the rift.
Yeah, I don't even have a PlayStation 4. Well, not mine anyway. But it's gonna be fun to just have one of my own for the first time because I didn't grow up having one. It just wasn't available around here at all, and I spent my life just basically playing on PC the entire time, which was nice. But I really want to experience the exclusives as well.
When I finally managed to return, it was to a world forever transformed. My home, now filled with abominations.
I wonder whatever happened to those two guys. I wonder if they like became abominations and she had to kill them or something.
I had a chance to learn about trust, and forsook it.
Forsook it. This is the first time ever that I heard this word. Forsook it. Forsaken. It's like it's always forsaken or forsake. Like I've never heard anyone use it in like past tense. It's so weird, isn't it? Forsook it.
I never had the power to save my home single-handed. I should have accepted their invitation.
So this is a patch about how Zero gets sad about being an introvert. What?
Had I joined them as I've
They
joined
broke
you,
her.
I might not have had to face the end of the world alone.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's just I've never had to say forsook in my life, and like if I ever had to say it before hearing it just now, I probably would have like tried to find a way to never say that word, even though it would be technically grammatically correct, because I'd be afraid that no one's ever said it, even though technically it could make it. So it just kind of sounds wrong, doesn't it? I don't know, something about it is like, oh, no. I have forsaken it sounds better. Yeah,
But
but
it's all history now. No amount of reflection or regret will change our present reality.
this is the problem. She defined the moment in time during which she she forsook the opportunity. You know, she said when it happened, and I guess grammatically, simple past makes a lot more sense than present perfect tense in this case. Yeah, no worries, no worries. Sorry for the spoilers, and I hope you have a lovely, lovely run. Have fun. Now that was on purpose. That was put into the game on purpose just to confuse me for sure.
Whatever may have happened in the past, you're still here, Zero. Alive. So long as you're alive, there will always be hope, no matter how bad things get.
Have a great night as well. Have fun.
What you couldn't do yesterday, you might still do today.
Like, I love her
Think about
reactions
it.
to other humans.
It's plain that you've
Crazy.
forged bonds with those around you. If you didn't feel that in some sense, would you have risked your life as you did for a meager ration of boots?
Hey, yo, if it's rations,
I
maybe
trust
she
you
would have.
too, for what it's worth.
She does like to eat. The hat
There
tipping
it is
again.
again.
Even she's like, here it is.
The fire that burned in my breast when you came to my rescue. The urge to weep, though there is no sorrow. If this is trust, then what must I do? How do I answer it?
Yeah, I already had my tea, that's the thing. Like, I'm at this point where nothing is going to help me. Because I woke up at 6:30. I took my kid to daycare. I went to the gym. I came back. I had the most not stressful day like at work, but there's something going on that's making me feel like I'm going to have to work a lot more in the foreseeable future. So I've been just, just overly consumed with that the entire day. And then I came back here with my kid, and then we spent the afternoon playing, and I got really tired as I was putting him to bed, and he wouldn't fall asleep for like an hour and a half, and I just got so exhausted. And then when I was gonna make coffee, there was no coffee. So I'm just running on like really low right now. Unfortunate as hell. By tomorrow I'll have coffee though. That's for sure. A hug? No way.
Give me your hand.
No, never mind.
It's not something you do constantly, mine. A friend is a friend regardless.
A friend. So that's what it means. Someone you trust.
I love how astounded she is by the concept of trust in general. She's adorable. Aww. she's amazing. Thank you. I feel at last as though I've found the answers I sought, and I owe it all to you and Julius. Right then, I expect the others have already arrived back at Tertium. We should join them. Oh, I thought we were actually gonna go. Sometimes the game gives you like a free teleport if something important is going on. Full glad I am to see everyone returned, and none the worse for wear. Various representatives of the Garlean community are gathered here at this very moment. I dare say this is a fine opportunity to announce the trade agreement. You've read the memorandum. I trust you find the terms acceptable? I do. And Nias, I pray you forgive my disgraceful conduct earlier. I'm ashamed not only of my behavior, but of placing the burden of negotiations solely on your shoulders in my absence. You should know that when we brought up the subject of the tower's reactivation to the people at Tapper's Den, some reacted quite strongly. Like, I can't believe that Alice, like, it never occurred to her that people who dislike magic, that her going around with a big ass glowing magic red mage sword is not cool. You know, maybe people, constantly see her as armed because she never puts her damn weapon away. Once we explained that it would be to prevent another Void's End invasion, however, they were more receptive. It's fair to say that the recent episode is still fresh in their minds. Look, if you want to calm someone down, do you not put your weapons away? Like, nobody else has their weapons around. I tagged along to deliver a supply of cerulean. Fair to say I didn't expect to see such a large crowd. Even the stuffy Imperials who normally keep to themselves in Senatus are here. It is a glowing stick. Glowing needle. My friends and countrymen, lend me your ears. I'm pleased to inform you on this joyous occasion that we, the people of Garlemald, have entered into a trade agreement with Razahan. To inaugurate our court, we intend to grant the individuals before you access to the Tower of Babel. In return, Razahan will provide us with supplies, which shall be equally distributed amongst the settlements of our nation. They're like, what if we die? You know? Is it gonna be worth it still? Probably not. Let me be clear on one point. This is not an act of charity, but trade. A bargain struck between equals rooted in trust and respect, and it marks a significant step towards rebuilding our nation and regaining true independence. Razahan holds Garlean technology and ingenuity in the highest esteem. It is my hope that through this agreement, our peoples will enjoy a mutually beneficial relationship for years to come. Now then, we bid you gather round to hear the particulars that you might convey them to those elsewhere. Alright, because this is only like a 1% of them. I don't know what a kid is doing here. He must be damn important. I don't remember him too well. I think they did have a story though, I just don't remember what it was. So burdened by hardship and trauma were the people of Garlemald that they were unable to imagine a brighter future. Thank goodness Alice isn't talking, Alphino is. To be reorganized as equals, as a nation with something of value to offer to others, that validation alone is enough to rekindle their hope. 'Tis by virtue of this partnership that we may access the Tower of Babel, a rather timely development given by the Aether tank's impending arrival. Once the tower's stores have been replenished, we need but await Yashtola's signal to channel the energy to the moon, yes? Surely it's not going to go that easily. Then you can leave that and anything else on this end to me and Alphino. No need to worry, devote all your energies to the mission in the void. As ever, I am in your debt. You are good friends. That was cute, wasn't it? I loved it. I think actually this is where I'm gonna stop for today. I know I'm cutting it a little short today, but I did also promise that I might not even stream during the week, so I'm actually very happy that I'm actually showing up. Today I'm cutting it a little bit short, but for tomorrow I really want to get some sleep and try and finish the patch. So for tomorrow, I think we're gonna have a trial. We're gonna have, I think I have like 3 or 4 quests left. Not a lot, but I'm very, very, very happy with the progress so far and with the story. And I'm pretty confident that tomorrow or Friday at latest, if something goes wrong with the trial, that we can finish it as well. I can feel my eyes just shutting down slightly, and I don't want to go through that. I really need to get myself to bed, and for tomorrow, I will be back. In the meantime, you can expect that video that I was talking about, the dungeon one, to be up on the channel along with some other ones as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a great, great rest of your day or night, and I'll see you tomorrow, probably around the same time. So 9:30 p.m. Central European Time. Hopefully, I'll feel a little more rested tomorrow. But yeah, overall, very happy with today's stream and the story and whatnot. And now I'm gonna get myself to bed. All right, have a great day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.